Hey kiddies, it's Terrible Triple Feature time once again, and this week we're going to look at future cops reliving old memories. Well, I wouldn't call it a tried and true trope. It does pop up more often than one would think, in which movies set in the future feature cops in some sort of moral quandary, while at the same time using artificial devices to relive old memories of, times that were better, because the future has gotten so dark and disturbing and terrible. Our menu is going to include Strange Days, Minority Report, and Timecop. Strange Days is a Catherine Bigelow film. This was the movie she did after Point Break. And it stars Ralph Fiennes as black marketeer Lenny Nero. The movie was made in 1995, but set in the far-off date of 1999. Lenny is a former LAPD turned black marketeer specializing in squid disks. Squid is the superconducting quantum interface device, which is like a little spider-looking thing that plugs onto your head and records all of your brain impulses. And Lenny sells these to people underground, and basically it's porn. You get to live porn through the feelings and sensations of other people, which could be really awesome and or be really disgusting. I don't think we too often appreciate the dividing line between our computer screen and all of the sticky, disgusting things that go on the other side of the screen. But that's for another video. Lenny is hung up on his ex-girlfriend, Juliette Lewis, which is always confusing to me. And throughout, at least at one point in the film, he uses the squid disc device to remember happier days when he was out rollerblading with Juliette Lewis and then having the sex. Strange is, it's a fairly interesting movie. I think there's a lot of great ideas in there, but I also think it's just a little too long, and the connecting the dots in terms of the big conspiracy and everything that happens takes too much effort. I mean, there's a scene where Tom Sizemore pretty much explains the entire plot of the movie because, we've only got 15 minutes left and we got to explain what the hell's going on. For the time it's made, I think the movie was very challenging in terms of dealing with societal issues. It was, it's set in LA in 1999, and it was filmed in 1995, not too long since the Rodney King riots and the O.J. Simpson trial and all sorts of other race issues. Like any good sci-fi movie, it is fairly predictive of things that would happen later. Sure, we don't have, a device that records every single sensation, but we do have iPhones and other smart devices that record every moment of our lives, and we post them on the internet and share them. So it did sort of predict a bunch of things about the future, except that there needs to be more Angela Bassett in the real future. There's a good amount right now, but we need more. And it's always fun to hear Ralph Fiennes' American accent. I remember the trailer for it was pretty much this big sales pitch monologue with Ralph Fiennes talking directly into the camera. And in the movie theater, it was actually pretty hot. This is completely contrasted by Tom Sizemore and Juliette Lewis, open mouth kissing, which I had done a terrible double feature a bunch of years ago, which was Tom Sizemore and Juliette Lewis Need to Stop Making Out, and it was this one in Natural Born Killers, because it's just there are certain things you just can't unsee. Great. I'll be thinking of that all day. Next up we have Minority Report, the Steven Spielberg, Tom Cruise film based on the Philip K. Dick book. And, as with any good Philip K. Dick adaptation, it vaguely resembles something that could be construed as a story Philip K. Dick once wrote on the back of a napkin and then threw away. Have there been any good? Yeah, there have. I can think of two genuinely good Philip K. Dick adaptations based on Philip K. Dick story, Blade Runner and Scanner Darkly. And then all the other ones kind of fall on a range of, well, it doesn't have anything to do with the story, but it's fun to watch, to it doesn't have anything to do with the story, and it stars Ben Affleck. But anyway, Minority Report. God, what a monumentally silly film this turned out to be. I remember there was like all the big hoopty-doopty because Steven Spielberg hired 16 to 20 futurists to design what the future is going to look like, because this is what it's really going to be. And not even a little. Nobody predicted the cloud. Good for you. Tom Cruise plays John Anderton, the lead officer of Washington, D.C.'s pre-crime division in the year 2054. Pre-crime is the genius idea of hooking 3 brain-damaged individuals to an HD TV and determining lifelong prison sentences as a result. They try to stop murders before they happen and then arrest people for them anyway, regardless of whether it's a crime of passion or premeditated. And I gotta tell you, as a lawyer, this is bullshit. Oh, what a silly movie. The problem with it for Tom Cruise is that his son was kidnapped some years before the beginning of the film, and as a result, he is perpetually watching old videos of good times when he had a family, and supplementing these with this drug called Clarity, which enhances it, makes you more there. If only they had had the squids, from Strange Days. It's kind of all Tom Cruise and Spielberg all the time. And just for shits and giggles, we throw in Colin Farrell and the always wonderful Max von Sydow. And Peter Stormare. He sort of steals the movie for the 5 minutes he's in. Actually, Peter Stormare generally steals the movie whenever he's in it for however long he's in it. Just look at Constantine, Armageddon, or $1 Million Hotel. The movie is silly. It can be fun to watch because Spielberg does... The man knows how to put together an action sequence. And, when he gets the right script, he can put together a really great movie, a la Lincoln or Saving Private Ryan of recent years. But this one, I have trouble with the premise of, arresting people for things they haven't done. I mean, you should stop the murder if you can and then put them into treatment, but it doesn't make any sense to, put them in jail forever for something they didn't do. I don't get it. As the triple feature progresses, we get less intelligent in terms of story and but more moral in terms of our main character. Lenny, in the first one, had given up being a cop and is now, professional scumbag. John Anderton is a cop, but if we really get down to it, what he's doing is pretty scummy, at work, and then he goes home and does all sorts of drugs to escape reality. And the one thing that I do absolutely love about the movie is the unequivocal nature of, it's all well and good until they're coming after you. And then all of a sudden, wait, this doesn't work and this is wrong. Yeah, sure it is. There are a lot of fun ideas in the movie. It's just I get hung up on the whole, this is what the future is going to look like, and none of it is going to be what anything looks like, especially not the goofy, hands interface thing. God, it was silly. But then we get to our final film of the triple feature, in which we go full bore stupid, but completely moral. Jean-Claude Van Damme in Timecop. We end the triple feature with Timecop because you tell me, what part of Minority Report or Strange Days is more exciting than Jean-Claude Van Damme running around like a crazy person trying to set time right, a la, Quantum Leap. This is the only one that actually has time travel. It was made in 1994, set in the future year of 2004. Jean-Claude Van Damme is Time Enforcement Commission agent Max Walker. And his wife was exploded at the beginning of the film back in 1994. Now, in the present, Max Walker goes back in time anytime somebody else goes back in time to alter the future, to go back and fix the alteration so that the future is what we want it. The future is our present the way we want it to be. While Walker is faced every single time he goes back in time with the opportunity to save his dead wife from exploding, he doesn't. And he has to go home every night, drink heavily, and watch home videos of when his wife was alive, and they built birdhouses, and then they totally just had sex on camera because that's what people did back in the 90s. Nothing but fun. This movie. I love Ron Silver's bad guy as the corrupt presidential candidate, Senator Aaron McComb, who has his own time travel device and is going back in time to raise campaign finances so that he can win the election. Yeah, when you look at it that way, just using time travel to make money, it does seem a little silly. Actually, probably why I like the movie so much is that this would be an issue of The Flash. You have this remarkable piece of advanced technology that you're using to rob banks. This is probably my favorite Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. Don't get me wrong, JCVD is clearly his best performance, and if you've never seen it, it is remarkable. But Timecop is the closest he really gets to playing like an actual character, like a Sylvester Stallone or Arnold Schwarzenegger style action movie in which it's, action first, but we actually care about the person at the same time. And it actually features time travel, which is always a good time. And Brother D-Day, Bruce McGill, is in it. I'm always happy about that. So, cops and ex-cops in the future reliving their lost memories and, trying to, do the right thing at the end of the day. Strange Days, Minority Report, and Timecop. And also, to follow up last week's Guardians of the Galaxy was every bit as incredible as we hoped. So make sure you go out and see it and stay till the very end of the credits. And you'll thank me. Alright, I'll see you guys next week.